Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to talk about families and tattoos, or tattoos and families. I don't know. I get asked a lot, and I mean a lot, by you guys, and it doesn't bother me at all, but I get asked a lot by you guys about how my family take my tattoos and how they react to my tattoos and what happens when I get more tattoos. What do they say? What do they say about your new ones? What do they say about your old ones? All those fun questions, and a lot of you guys ask for advice as well when it comes to your family not liking your tattoos or not accepting your tattoos, and it makes me sad. It really does make me sad, but I completely understand. So let me do a little backstory for you guys. If you've been here for a while, if you've watched like most of my videos, you've probably come across one or two where I've said that unfortunately my mum passed away nearly 3 years ago now. It'll be 3 years in May. So she hasn't seen all of my tattoos, obviously, because she passed away. So before she passed away, I was on my sleeve, this sleeve here, and I think I got to about here. This wasn't even finished, I don't think. So this wasn't finished, like none of this was here. I was just doing this bit here. So she didn't see the whole sleeve. I don't think she would have approved of the whole sleeve either, but she knew it was happening. So she hasn't seen me very tattooed, if that makes sense. So I don't think I even had all of these either. Did I have some of these? I don't even remember now. I think I only had the I don't remember. Oh my god, that's so bad. I don't even remember when I got tattooed, but she definitely didn't see me fully tattooed, if that makes sense. When I got my first tattoo, she was disappointed. She was pretty mad also. She was pretty mad. She was just like, why would you do that to yourself? You shouldn't have done that. I mean, my first tattoo was this tiny little lipstick swatch, was my life, but my first tattoo was this tiny little star here, and she obviously thought it was like the worst thing ever. She's like, why would you do that to yourself? That's awful. It looks horrible. Why would you do that? Yeah, it looks awful, but back then I didn't think so. And then any tattoo after, I kind of just didn't tell her. Yeah, I didn't really tell her. And then if she saw a new tattoo, or if she saw a tattoo, she'd be like, what is that? I'd be like, that's been there forever. Why have you only just noticed it? And she'd be like, oh, and then she'd feel bad because she never noticed, type thing. So yeah, she didn't really approve them. She didn't like them. The only one that she said she didn't actually mind was my quote in my inner arm here. It says, in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different, and she kind of liked that. Well, she didn't say she hated it. She was like, oh, I've seen that quote before, yeah, it's cool. And that was it. Like, all my other tattoos she just didn't like at all, but she didn't hate me for it. She didn't like ground me. I mean, I was like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 type thing. So she didn't like ground me or hate me or kick me out of the house or anything like that. She just didn't approve of them at all. As for my family, when my nan was alive, she didn't like them at all. She's like, oh no, that's disgusting. My nan was Scottish, so it was hilarious to hear her say, oh no, why would you do that? Ugh, no, in like a Scottish accent. I can't even imitate it, but yeah, she didn't like them. If she saw me today, oh my god, I would give her a heart attack. But her husband, so my mum's dad, had some tattoos on his forearms. He was in the Navy, so it was very common back then for them to get tattoos. Like, he had like a swallow, I believe. I don't actually remember. I haven't really seen any pictures of them. Well, there is a picture of him with his arms, like, not like this, but he was like this or something. I don't know what he was doing. And you can see that he had tattoos there, but I can't really see what they were, because obviously for photographs back in the 50s, 40s wasn't that great. So but you could see that he had tattoos, like two, one there and one there. But obviously, like, that was the thing back then. That's the only people that got tattoos were sailors, people in the armed forces and stuff like that. So that's all my nan believed. Like, only guys in that situation were allowed tattoos. So females weren't allowed tattoos in her mind. Like, it was weird that I had tattoos. So that was her method behind the madness of not liking them. It's totally understandable. Everyone's from a different generation, so I don't expect everyone to like them. Just respect people that do. That's my motto. So yeah, that's my nan and my granddad. I didn't meet my granddad, unfortunately. He passed away before I was born. My auntie Ina, my closest auntie, she doesn't look after me and my sister, but since my mum passed away, she's like our go-to person now. She's not keen on them either. She's not like a fan. She doesn't say anything negative towards them. She's just like, oh, when are you gonna stop, type thing. She's one of those people. She's like, oh yeah, do you need any more tattoos? Like, if I'm saying, oh, I'm going to London to get a tattoo next week or whatever, well, I haven't had a tattoo in months now, but if I was to say that to her, she'd be like, oh, do you really need any more? Do you sure you want that? And I'm just like, yes, that's what I want. And she's like, okay, well, you live your life. So she's obviously on the fence also. And then her boyfriend, they're not married, but I call him my Uncle Stuart. He also is one of those people that's just, he doesn't mind them or whatever, but he once said something that totally caught me off guard. I was around their house for either Easter or Christmas or something, and he was just like, I can't remember what we were saying, and I said, oh, I don't think the old fogies will like my tattoos or whatever. I don't know what we were talking about. And he said, well, they don't have to look then. And I was just like, it caught me off guard. Like, he like stood up for me a little bit. I was just like, oh wow, that was pretty cool. It totally, I've never told him that, but he totally took me off guard. And then I have my Auntie Jan and Uncle William, and they don't say anything. Like, the rest of my aunties and uncles don't say anything. They're just like, they don't even notice, they don't talk about it. And my cousins think it's cool. So yeah, my family are sort of like, they accept him, but they're not keen. So that's my whole story. So a lot of you guys say like your family completely hate your tattoos, and they're very, very, not abusive towards you. That sounds a bit like, you know, violent, but they're very vocal about how much they hate tattoos. They will say very mean things to you. I get a lot of people asking for advice in my Instagram, like messages and stuff like that, and it really does like break my heart that you have to put up with that just because you have some ink on your skin. It is just mind-blowing to me. Like I always say, people do not have to like tattoos. I'm not saying you have to like tattoos, just you don't have to like them. I get it, it's an acquired taste. It's just like Marmite or Brussels sprouts. You don't have to like them, but just respect people that do like them and people that do have tattoos. Do you know what I mean? Just, that's all you have to do. You don't have to be mean, you don't have to be very vocal. If you want to say, oh, I'm not a fan of tattoos, I'm okay with that. If you want to come up, if I have a random person come up to me and say, I'm not a fan of tattoos, I am completely okay with that. You're allowed to voice your opinion, but it's when you start being very gross about it, like, oh, they look disgusting, oh, they look dirty, like, okay, that's your opinion, but you don't have to offend me with it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't offend me, I don't fucking care, but do you know what I mean? Like, other people do, and I don't want to hear that, you know, because I have to live with these tattoos for life, and I don't want to be called gross, you know, like, no. So a lot of you guys have said that your family members think that tattoos are gross, etc. And I don't know, I just honestly don't know what I would do in that situation. Again, I'm one of those people that just don't care. So, like, if my auntie started saying, oh, your tattoos are gross, they're disgusting, oh, you can't come around for dinner because of your tattoos, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation. Like, it would suck, it really would suck, because I think a lot of, like, my auntie and my main, not my main auntie, but do you know what I mean, like my auntie Ina, because she's done so much for me and my sister since my mum passed away, and, like, if she all of a sudden turned on me, I don't know what I would do. So, I don't know what I would do in that situation, and you guys have to deal with this kind of thing on a daily basis, and, oh my god, like, I don't have advice for stuff like that, because, like, I would probably try and sit, like, the family member down, so whoever was being mean to me, I would probably sit them down and say to them, look, I'm the same person as I was before the tattoos, I just look a little bit more colourful, and they mean a lot to me, you know, they have a personal meaning to me. Even if they didn't, I would just, like, blag it a little bit, and they haven't changed me as a person. Yes, I look different, but it doesn't mean I'm a different person. I'm still that little, you know, sassy monster, just a little bit more colourful. You know, they don't change me, and yes, you don't like them, and I'm okay with you not liking them, but don't hate me because of my tattoos. I think that's what I would say anyway. I would say something like that. I don't know, I just honestly don't know what to say when it comes to stuff like that, because I have been I know I'm extremely lucky. Like, yes, my family don't exactly like tattoos, but they're not hateful towards me because of it, and I am very grateful, and I'm very aware that, you know, it's a thing, people don't like tattoos. Like, in this sort of day and age, like, I think it's also to do with, like, generation, because I know, like I was saying, my nan only thought guys would have tattoos, like sailors, people in the army, like, that's the only people that had tattoos in her generation. So when she was, like, my age, like 27, well, wait, whoa, I'm only 26, I'm 27 in January, but when she was, like, 26, the only people that had tattoos were men in the forces. Now, in our days, people in our generation that are, like, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, whatever, anyone has tattoos nowadays. Guys, girls, all ages, all races, everyone has a tattoo, so it's okay for, like, we understand it, we get it, but for older generations, I'm not saying every old person hates tattoos, like, I've had a few, you know, I don't want to call them oldies, but I've had a few people that are like 50, 60 comment on my videos saying, oh, I love tattoos, I don't hate tattoos, I have tattoos myself. So I'm not saying it's everyone, but there is a bigger handful of people that hate tattoos that are older than there is younger. So it is a generation thing. It's totally understandable, because when we're older, there's probably something that loads of young people have, and we'll be like, oh no, what is that about? You know, like, maybe not so for me, because I'm very open-minded, but there will be something when we're older that we may not like also. So I don't know what that would be, but we won't know until we're older. If we make it that far. Imagine if like tattoo ink slowly kills you off. I'm gonna be dead very soon. So yeah, I don't really have a good solid advice because I've never been in that situation, unfortunately, and it sucks. But I would just try and sit that person down, and if they're not listening to you, I don't know. I don't know what to say. This sucks because, like, I'm normally that person that's like, oh, I don't fucking care. Like, whatever, you think of me however you want. But if I put myself in that situation where one of my family members, you know, didn't like me because of my tattoos, I know, it would really suck. It would suck. So, yeah, this hasn't been very helpful. But at least you guys know my backstory now when it comes to my family and tattoos and what they think of them. And sometimes you just have to say Hail Mary and... you know, but don't ever live for other people. That's another thing I want to quickly say. You know, like, even though I knew my mum didn't like tattoos and my nan didn't like tattoos and my family aren't keen on them, I didn't let it stop me, you know. I knew I was in a safe place where I wouldn't get kicked out of the house or anything. I mean, I know if I got like a really stupid tattoo, like on my forehead or something, then I might have been in trouble, you know, but nothing wrong with forehead tattoos, let me just quickly say that. But like if I had something stupid on my forehead, like a penis or something, then I know I would have been in trouble. Even though my oldest tattoos are really shit, they weren't ever offensive or anything like that, so I kind of played it a little bit safe, I don't know. But yeah, when I started to get tattoos, like when I got my first one, and I saw my mum's reaction, like she was mad, but she wasn't like aggressively mad or anything like that, so I knew I was safe to get more. But if my mum reacted very badly to my first one, I probably wouldn't have carried... I probably would have, but I wouldn't have gotten extreme or anything. I would have got everything hidden so she could see. Obviously, because I started to get like arm tattoos and the back of my neck tattooed and stuff like that, so she would have seen that. So I would have played it pretty safe until I like moved out or whatever, but she unfortunately passed away, so... But she was okay with them. In some way, shape or form. She was alright with them, I guess. Like, she didn't like them, but she didn't hate me because of them. I've gone completely off tangent, but yeah, I'm that person that just does what I want, you know. I dyed my hair pink when I was 18 against my mum's will. I was dyeing my hair from the age of like 14, so I am that person. I'll do what I like. But the thing is, I think my mum realised that I wasn't hurting anyone. I wasn't hurting myself, so she was kind of just accepting, I guess. And I know a lot of people don't have very accepting parents, and that sucks. It really sucks, and there's nothing I can do. Like, I would give advice, like the inner me is just like, just fucking do it, and if they hate you, move out, live with your friends. But that's just not realistic. That isn't realistic. That's what I would used to say. Like when I was younger, I'd be like, just fucking do it, who cares? But like, I know it's not a grown-up. I've matured. I'm a mature person now. You've kind of just got to respect the people you live with. So if you live on your own and your parents still hate tattoos, then you kind of can just do whatever the fuck you like. Because you live on your own, and you know, if your parents hate them, then whatever, you're not under their roof. But if you're under their roof, you kind of got to respect that. So you've also got to see it from their point of view. I know that sucks, and I know that sounds like such an arsehole thing, but you've got to see it from their point of view. I know most parents don't like their children to get tattoos because you're their baby, you know, they made you. As disgusting as that sounds, they did make you, and you're a very, very precious, can't say that word, you're a very, very precious human being to them, and you're like marking yourself, you're scarring yourself for like the fun of it, as most of them see it as, and that's where they're coming from. Like, you're hurting yourself, do you know what I mean? Like, and they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to scar yourself. But if you can sit them down and explain to them that yes, okay, you're scarring yourself, but it's for a greater cause, it's for a good cause, I would say. It's something that you enjoy, you love the tattoo life, and you love tattoos, and you love the art behind it, and you know, show them the tattoo artist you want to go to, and prove to them that you're not just going to go to some weirdo in the back alley and they're going to scar you with some fucking heroin needle. Do you know what I mean? Just try and reassure them. That's probably a good way to speak to parents that aren't into tattoos or don't want you to get tattooed. Just reassure them you know what you're doing, and you know, say you've researched tattoos online, you've spent years, use that one, say you've spent years wanting tattoos and it's something you've always wanted, so just show them that you're very dedicated. That might help as well, I think. So yeah, anyway, I have rambled on so much. Yes, if you've got any questions, comment down below. I'll try and help you in some way, shape or form. I hope this video has, I don't know, helped. I don't know, I ramble so much in videos and I don't think they're helpful. I don't know, maybe they are. Maybe you just like to listen to me ramble. I kind of doubt it, but whatever. Anyway, until my next video, I hope you guys are all doing very well, and until then, bye.